Welcome to jobskillshare.org. This video is designed for our members who are taking network and systems administration course as a self-paced member, or let's say you are taking our coaching program with our engineers. The way you are going to look for the jobs is going to be the same for all type of members, even if you're taking free courses outside. And if you're going out of IT support and transitioning into more admin roles, the tips will be the same. So to summarize, we are going to make a video and we're going to explore the strategies discovering opportunity. This is important. Discovering strategies, discovering and opportunities for admin level roles such as network administrator, systems administrator, or anything similar designed for people who are getting out of IT and then moving into more admin level roles. Now, when I say tailored, this is there are many companies, there are many jobs that are available right now that we don't know that it's actually tailored for people who are working in IT support and they just want you to get in. So then later on, whatever they're working on, it could be an MSP, it could be a product provider, it could be something non-profit, and then they have engineers and they really want someone like you and they want to train you. Same concept when you were applying for the IT support, they wanted to train you, but nobody likes to bring anybody into their uh, team where they have no clue about IT. It's really hard for this type of people to train somebody who have no experience or no learning experience because they're not going to sit and start explaining what is IP at this level, what is DHCP at this level. Very hard to do, right? So the first thing before you get started, this video is not for someone who have not landed an IT job. For that, we have IT support roadmap, our previous videos or previous courses, other roadmaps. Please, I would say don't waste your time and make sure to just get on that and get this job first. This is for people who have finished our network administration course and specifically the transitioning skills course. That's why we call it transition, because we want to make sure we tell you that this is when you are moving up now, when you are going to more advanced positions, not to become an engineer at this level. There we have more advanced roadmaps for that. So let's get started. Now, first, let's clear some check marks. The first requirement is that did you finish this course fully? Because without that, of course, this video is not going to make too much sense. So you came to this course, you went to the resume project, you clicked on download resume and you downloaded the resume. And then you did all this training right here, network cabling, addressing, Ethernet, switching and routing, specialized network, wireless, network operation and management, security, hardening, VPN, load balancing, cloud administration basics, extra practice labs. So yes, it took you some time, right? So that is checkmarked. And now you are mentally ready to go out and actually test yourself, because this is a time that you're going to target the positions that I just mentioned. There are people who are looking for you. So if you want to download the latest resume, you can also go to our website, click on have a question chat right here, and just type resume template, just like that. And it's going to give you a resume template, the latest resume templates. So here, if you come down to the template 2, we already discussed the template 1 in our last video. And then here you can download this template by clicking, just click like that. And now you have the updated resume available right here. So as you can see, when we start with this, when we start sending out this resume, the first thing you notice is the 3+ years right here. If you don't have 3+ years, then you need to change that. Actually, then remove the years part. Don't even give them this number then. If you have IT support experience, then you should definitely add that. Even if you have 4 years of experience, you put that in there. Anything above 2 is good. Anything below 2, just don't even mention it. Just say I have experience, because then you're kind of like not giving them a number for this specific role. The second important tip is that, just like the last previous videos, I have mentioned that you have to check your, the wordings right here. Make sure that if you are comfortable with it, then leave it. If you're not comfortable with it, then replace it with whatever you have learned from the courses. So if you have not done cloud administration in more extensive level in this course, then go back to your practice labs, open Azure lab, AWS lab, and these are just like 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hour labs. If you do it, you got it. That's the whole point of these labs, that you can then put something big like this right here. They don't require you to be an expert, because the positions they're putting out there, they're not looking for that. But if you have this makes your chances extremely high for you to get picked and to get you the call. Then later you have to do a lot of other things to make sure that you retain that, the drive from them to pick you up. But this is what you need to do. You need to come over here, you need to check all these things, make sure that if you're super uncomfortable with something, then you remove it. But here's the key here, that you're looking for advanced job, you're looking for a more admin level job. So don't remove things because you feel like you have not done practice on it, because you got the capability to go back to your job skillshare labs, and then just open a specific lab like CCNA lab. For server lab, just open like Server Plus lab. There are brand new labs available, Server Plus. If you want to add some Linux, just open a Linux lab. You got to do a little bit in this, because remember, this is not a help desk role anymore. This is somebody who is going to pay you more, somebody's going to give you more responsibility, and somebody who will be coming to you, like a help desk will be coming to you to fix the issue. So this is no more of like you just gonna assign everything to an engineer every time. An engineer is gonna be always coming back to you and say, "Why are you assigning these things to me? Didn't you know these basics?" So they can definitely say that, and I can guarantee you they will say that if you just think that you're gonna assign everything to them. Another thing I forgot to mention is LinkedIn. Make sure to optimize your LinkedIn profile by going to YouTube, type Job Skillshare LinkedIn. We have some videos, and also there are a bunch of videos available online, and you should follow the optimization tips and techniques to make sure that this place is also covered, because a lot of people will click on that. All right, so now you want to move to the technical side, and this is where not a lot of people are going to spend too much time, but if they do and they kind of like, okay, let me just check what this person have in their technical side. And this is where then, of course, you want to be very targeted. And if you look at this right now, you want to make sure that you have things like Cisco, because you are becoming a network administrator and systems administrator. So Cisco, DHCP, DNS, these are the things that people are going to look for. Server 2016, 2019, Linux as well. Some people do use Linux in this type of roles. And then, of course, adding a little bit of modernish type of things like cloud related stuff. So maybe you should definitely put Office 365, because even at the administrator level, when you are working in a company, we do control some of these areas, and that could lead us to more of like a hybrid system administrator, which most of the companies are now hybrid, right? They have on-premises systems like networking and everything going on, server virtualization, and then they have Azure or AWS running as their main, cloud technologies for websites or products or whatever they're using. So you definitely could end up as a hybrid system administrator. So you don't want to just go there and say, I just know everything at the very basic level. I open a router and I just do initial configuration. No, you probably have to do a little more than that in these labs. You have to go to these Server Plus labs and then do a little more than how to like configure Active Directory, how to configure domains and things like that. So yes, that is a little requirement that you need to push yourself to complete before you say that I know about servers, because this is not no longer a question about do you know how to add a user in Active Directory. They will probably won't ask you this question in this level. They're going to probably say, do you know how to manage Active Directory or troubleshoot Active Directory? This is very different than you adding a user at Active Directory. So if this is something that you have not covered in this course, which we can't cover every single technology in one course, you should just open the Server Plus lab and as a practice lab, or just learn any from anywhere you feel like you have the capability. If you're not a JSS member, you should open and do some server trainings, because this is going to be a requirement. Then on the bottom, you see that we got some tools which every administrator use, like WebEx. We use this a lot. Remote tools, Zoom. We different type of clients, different type of tools. So this is something that you should definitely at least do Zoom and WebEx. This is something I have seen a lot with network engineers, and they use it heavily in some companies. So just go open a Zoom account, create some connections between two accounts, try to practice on that, then open a WebEx account and do some connections, call yourself, open it on mobile, and just get this. Like, this is very simple. You can just do this like 1 or 2 hours and you're done by practicing. Then you got this server hardening, which you again, that's going to come from the Server Plus Lab. Manage engine, patch management, semantic, things like that will come with watching the videos online. Go to their product sections and then watch some of our videos. We have covered a lot of security areas as well. And if it's a third party product like this, I highly recommend go to their YouTube channels and just go through their videos on how they are using their product. This type of approach gives you additional help in interviews and also at the job, because when you're doing a courses, most likely you're going to get end up in one specific area like Cisco networking, but you may also need to do some sort of basic networking on the cloud. So if you do a bunch of things like that, then you are able to give a good answer when people ask you about networking at on premises level, or they may say, do you know, I just know how to configure a network for a virtual machine. I just want to know the basics. I'm not looking for you to become a Azure administrator. I just want to ask you if you have done something on the cloud. So this could be like a preferred option for them. So if you do, this means you're the preferred candidate then. If you don't, then if someone else do, then they are becoming preferred and you are not, and that's where you lose that opportunity. So the next important thing is the job experience, professional experience. Now, remember, you are moving up. You are transitioning to advanced roles from IT support. So your IT support should come below this section. Why? Because that is the previous skill, and what you want to do is you want to tell people that, look, right here, I'm doing something new. I'm doing network and systems administration. During my membership, I gained hands-on experience. This is very important, with variety of Cisco routers and switches, and involve initial configuration to troubleshooting, right? And that is something you went back to your course and you did a lot of that in this course. Network Plus lab is covered in here, and that's a huge lab. And I believe you went on to these routers, and then we made specialized custom courses for you, like so how do you use these routers for SSH type of things and different type of scenarios we created. So yes, you did a lot of that. So there's no way you can not be confident at this level, because if you are not confident, that you probably haven't done all these labs, and you again, you want to make more money, you want to change your life, you want to take more responsibilities, you got to do this. There's no other way. You got to do this. For server management, you did also in this course, you did basic server management, which is not going to be a big requirement in this type of area unless they say Windows Server Administrator. And for that, we have a different pathway. We don't want to confuse people to become a server specialist over here, just the IT administrator. So if you know the basics from these videos, and if you feel like you are lacking some of the server skills, you should go back to our practice labs and find Server Plus lab, which is the 005, which is available now. Latest lab is available. So in your practice labs, search 005, and this is where what I'm talking about, the Server Plus. You're just going to open that, and then you can actually do all these, some of these labs from here. You don't have to really finish everything. Just do like the virtualization and installation, configuration, just enough for you to feel comfortable to say that I have done some labs on the server. Same concept goes for cloud administration. You touched a little bit of cloud in this. Again, nobody's expecting you to become a cloud administrator, because all of these are different roles and everybody knows that. So if you can just say that I have done some work and practice on Azure and AWS, because both of these labs are available to you in this course. So then you can just talk about that. I've done some management, I've done some configuration and install a virtual machine on both cloud environments. I know how to use it, and I would love to learn more from you guys. And this is something I want to probably go in future. So maybe they know that you're coming here and you're going to be here with them for a long time, because they may have cloud engineers and they're probably looking for you to for people to actually get into that. So they're actually getting you in first just to give you that initial IT admin job, but then maybe their goal is to actually make you become this person. So if they know you are already interested in the future like that, then maybe that's a really good thing. They probably get you, because they're not going to hire somebody who is just going to know about servers on-premises servers. That's gone. It's almost gone. Everything is going away. The anything that like a in the building type of setup is moving to cloud, and we know that. And at some point, it's going to be a lot of cloud engineers available. So if you say that point right there, that's the reason I added this is to just kind of, play with their mind. And then they will be like, okay, wow, okay, this person is already doing something what we're looking for in the future. And the rest, I would like you to add something more advanced from your IT support job. Just come up with some sort of project and add it right here on the bottom. Now, qualification, of course, you need to put the qualification, put your course certificate that you have finished with us, put your test out certification. If you are a coaching program member, we gave you a test out course where you probably pass the test out. If you didn't pass, that's fine. You can still put ongoing in here for test out and for CompTIA Network Plus or CCNA, whichever certification you're targeting. Make sure to put that ongoing. Just put it here. You don't have to put like certificate because you're just doing that. And this is also a conversation when they ask you about qualification. You say, I've done this program. It's a hands-on program. I did a lot of labs. I believe that learning something more advanced really requires hands-on labs, and I did a lot of that for past 2, 3, 4 months, and I've been doing this. I'm really good at this stuff right now. And now I'm going to go for certification, which is going to be kind of like a proof that I know all these things. So, I mentioned this many, many times. People know this stuff now. People can get CCNAs, Network Plus, all these certification by spending hours of memory type of work, and then they get it, but then nobody know how to use it and get job. So make sure to put the certificate that you have acquired from our courses, and then also put ongoing. If you have not finished the CompTIA or CCNA, just put it right here because that's probably your next target. So just put it there. Now that we have finished some of the resume stuff, make sure to put your IT support experience below this experience. So then you have two. One is to prove that you are an IT professional. Second is to prove that you are moving up and you're doing a lot of work and give me the chance. I'm doing all this stuff. It's kind of like a talk that I'm doing. It's like you're talking to them. Basically, that's how your resume talks to them. So now let's move to Indeed.com and start searching for the job. This is the second part of this video. So now we know your resume, you're confident, and let's go find these jobs. By the way, when I say Indeed.com, that's just my favorite one. You have to use Indeed.com. You have to go to LinkedIn Jobs. You have to go to Dice.com, DICE. You have to go to Monster. You have to go to Craigslist, wherever you feel like these are the top sites. Do your research. Find online how many sites are available. You need to do this many, 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 many times because that is the only way for you to be successful. Aggressive applying is the key right here, okay? You cannot apply to 2 or 3 positions and you get rejected. Let's say they don't call you, and then you feel like, oh my God, my resume is not working, nothing is working. No, it's that there's too many people applying and you're not even getting a chance there for someone to even look at you like that. So make sure you have to keep that in your mindset that I am going to apply to hundreds of positions for me to get that one position. So the first keyword we will target is junior, okay? Junior. And if you just type junior space, let's see what we get. Should we get systems administrator or network engineer? So both are giving us kind of like the similar flow right here. Junior administrator, nothing here. So what we're gonna do is junior system. You see systems engineer, systems administrator. So if you click on system administrator, let's see how many jobs does it pull. Oh, we need to change this to remote because this, again, when I use remote, I'm just looking for a remote job. But you should change it based on where you live, or remote, you can keep it that way. So let's just do search, and only 643 jobs are available in junior system administrator. And if I change this to junior network engineer, 1,746 jobs are available remote. So this keyword is definitely winning, but you can change things around. But we're gonna keep this one like that. Okay. So if you come over here, let's just talk about starting one, because I'm not kind of like specifically picking choose. So you don't think like I'm just specifically choosing one. So I'm just gonna go from bottom to down, whichever I feel like I want to do. So if you see a title where it says IT network engineer, you see how they're using a very generic title. So, but you still have to look into description a little deeper when you're applying for IT administrative roles. Now, if you come over here, you see this is the type of role they're saying there are 4 network engineer opening. This means that they may be looking for experienced people, and they may be looking for people who they can train, because this is seems like a company where they say migrations, 30 sites, or need someone to prepare a lab environment, need someone to do this and that, you know what they're looking for is people who can learn very, very quickly. This is a perfect job for someone like you. You can say, I have done all of this network plus training. I have done a lot on Cisco router. I have done this, that. So many labs you have done. And if you go to the interview and you showcase that to them, just like how you've done in the courses, this, like right here, you see how this may kind of like lead you towards not applying most of the people when they don't do our courses. Like, for example, if they say may lead cross functional teams or provide network engineering support. Now, even though I can tell you this, these people are looking for someone like you because they want to train you quickly, but they put something like this. So if you have not, if you don't have the mindset the way I'm training our members is, then this may lead you to not applying because you may say, oh, this is something to do with leading. It's going to be too much. I think I'm just going to become too stressed. No, they are actually, this is just a description. So however they have designed this, probably I would say this is a little mistake from their end because, but at the same time, they're also telling you that that's expected. So they also put something in the job description. So later you don't go and say, oh, this was not in my job description. I never thought of this, doing this stuff. And it's so stress. That's why they're also defending themselves in the job descriptions too. They have to put this stuff because it's a part of your job. And if you come down, just look at this right here. Have you seen in networking positions where people say no CCNA is required? No Network Plus is required. Bachelor's degree or the equivalent education, relevant experience, 4 years of plus experience. This is definitely a thing. Like I said, if you don't apply to this position, then you have zero chances. And if you apply to this position, 9 out of 10 times you may get rejected. And there will be one company, they will say, you know what? I think we can train this person. So you got that job. You see how it works. You see how it works, right? You don't apply to this because they put 4 years, zero chances. You applied to it, 9 out of 10, you got rejected because maybe they are hardcore on 4 years. But there is a company that's sitting there, they're waiting for you, and then they're looking for a person like you, and that one company is going to give you a chance and you got the job. That's why when I say aggressive applying is going to work over here for people who want to transition, and how you're going to get the job is exactly how that's how it works in reality. All right, so let's move on. And another big one, just the title right here. I want to tell you something that if you're not comfortable with network engineer title, then you should go and search more network administrator titles as well. So, but first try everything in the network engineer area because it's more titles, more jobs. And then once you go through these jobs and go to network administrator title, but make sure to take a screenshot of wherever you apply. That's kind of like the tip I give people, that if you don't take a screenshot and they remove this offering from here and they call you, then you will not know what they have put in here. So the best thing you can do, take a screenshot, save it. When they call you, then you know what company is this. Go to the company quickly. Let the voice go to the voicemail, the call. And then once you're prepared after researching for, let's say, 1 or 2 hour or a day, and then call them back. So in this role, as you can see, they're looking for a network engineer who's going to be working in a group environment. This means it's like something more experienced because this guy, they're saying that you're going to be working with other groups. And then here, if you look into this right here, we focus on being the technical escalation point for issues brought up by the tier 1 NOC support team. Now, you must be wondering, if I'm coming from IT support, then I don't think I'm gonna apply to this position. Wrong, big mistake. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna apply to this position and you say, I want this position. You know what's gonna happen? They may tell you that, well, you're not you're not qualified for this position because this requires a lot of experience. But hey, we got a tier 1 NOC support team, and that's exactly why we need you there. Like, this is your skill set is exactly for what we want in this area. So you probably applied to one position, but they offered you a second position, and I've seen this happen to many members, many of them, because they think you are so confident that you can apply to this positions, and then definitely you are worth to talk about this other positions that they have, the knock level 1 positions. Yes, little less money, but that's where you can then go to this position later on with them, a very easy way, because you apply to this position. It's like a Solid case. You came to this company because you wanted this position, but they gave you this position, and after a few months you say, now I want this because I'm really good at this stuff, and they will give it to you. Or you can go to the company's website and check if they have tier 1 knock position available. I think that's probably a better position to apply to them directly then. Now, also keep in mind that when you do remote searching, you are also cutting down a lot of jobs for you. So if remote is not the thing in your mind, and if you remove this and just type, let's say I'm from Maryland, US, and I search for it, that's 1,000 jobs right near me available. So if I put network engineer entry level on top, you see I can scroll down and look for something more entry level. Then there you go, one entry level came, but that's security engineer, so I don't want that. I am there you go, junior knock engineer. And if I click on it, that's exactly what I was talking about. Hybrid remote, meaning you're going to go to the company sometimes, and mainly, maybe mostly, you're going to be doing remote work. Okay. So if you scroll down, you see what they're looking for. We are a full service MSP looking for a junior knock technical resource that knows how it takes to be successful, blah blah blah. And then if you come down, you see how they're saying just monitoring, incident troubleshooting, documentation, technical lead. This is all basic stuff, to be honest. And if you come down to qualification, a bachelor's or related field is experience. However, equivalent at work experience can be considered as well. Knowledge of networking protocol, you've done this in the courses. And there is going to be some wish list going on over here. These are all wish listing going on over here. Troubleshooting, CompTIA Network Plus, Cisco, CCNA is preferred. Remember, preferred, not required. Anywhere this is required and there's a must have it, then you can say no to that if you don't have it. Preferred means you're 100% qualified for this job right now. This is how you are going to have to say to yourself that I'm not going to go and just learn all these tiny, minor things that they expect from me. I'm going to go what major things people expect is networking. I learned this server stuff like that. I learned it from the courses, and these are the things I'm going to take it out of my mind, because when I go to the work, I'm going to learn it from them. But most of other things, you're just going to learn 60 to 70, even less than that. You're going to learn it from your courses, 20, 30, 40% from work. And when you're applying for jobs, not when you want to become an expert, because that's probably like more percentage on work then. Now, if they do call you, maybe after that, you can just quickly go to the YouTube and the website for the specific product that they have mentioned and just kind of quickly review it. So then at least you have something to talk about. That's just now you're doing a little more targeted work for you to, get more calls or second interview, things like that, because they think you have done some homework over here. So now I went ahead and changed the title to Network Administrator to pull little different titles and just to go over it. As you can see, this is a famous university, University of Maryland, and they are looking for network administrator. Now you can see that their requirement is also not very hardcore type of requirement. Simply they're saying a lot of ors in there. So you see there's a or right here again. So that's kind of telling you, okay, if you have some sort of equivalent hands-on experience and lab experience, quite extensive one, then you can really counter this. Minimum 2 to 3 years of experience. Now, they didn't say you need to be an engineer, so that 2 to 3 experience could be your IT support experience and can be totally okay in this field. Experience with Cisco devices, you've done that in your whole course. VPN, you've done that. Site to site VPN, you've done that. You did DNS, DHCP, a lot of these things you have done that in the courses. VLAN trunking, you have done that a lot on your labs as well. So you can see the rest, then of course, then it becomes like the point again. You cannot cover every single thing. So now I'm going to cover the last one. After this, I'm going to show you how to do interview preparation using ChatGPT. But first, look at this systems and network administrator. Sometimes they even put two titles like that just because they know people are looking for jobs and they're confused. So let's just clear the confusion. And when you open this, you see how they're looking for the basic stuff like troubleshooting, generic words, generic, right? You can totally like ignore that stuff. Focus on something what they're looking for, like provide tier 1 help desk and tier 2 escalation. So they're looking for 1 and 2, which is fine. The amount of information that you have learned from the courses equivalent to tier 2 now. It cannot be tier 1. Now keep a note of this right here where it says qualification. 5 years worth of experience, similar blah 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 is required. Okay, bachelor's degree in technical from accredited is required. All this stuff. So if you go to this job, you're gonna apply to it, and this is, like I said, that 10 to 9 ratio. 9 out of 10, 9 times they will reject you if you don't have this requirement. That one person is going to say, whoa, this person have a lot of labs going on, I really like the way he's learning or she's learning. I think this is a good candidate for that XYZ position. Maybe later on we can make him that super sysadmin that we have other ones, just like they how we made them became so experienced, so they can detect these things. And you could be that one one chance type of thing. So that's why I said that if you apply to this position, you have that 1% chance. If you don't, you got what? Zero. Zero chances. Now they may also put some sort of certifications, and like I said, it's not gonna hurt you. Just go ahead and apply. So some places, of course, we're gonna have these type of things too, this the clearance type of things. So it's gonna become, of course, a little harder for you to get these jobs, because these big companies usually works with government, federal type of contracts, and they do look for that stuff. But if even if you apply to them and you got a call or you did some interview with them, that's an experience in itself for you. So make sure to apply anyway. So anywhere you see something like this where they are looking for 3 years, but then on the bottom they have preferred, a lot of preferred going on, then that is something you can consider to apply. But also look into this type of requirements, like what they have saying, commute or willing to relocate with employer provided relocation package is required. So that could be a stopping point for you, or maybe you might be okay with that. So just look into that as well. If you're new, try to avoid the jobs where they say 5 years of experience or 9 years of experience. Then they have a bunch of certifications like laid down like this one. Years, like a high years of experience, and then many certifications. Then they put experience with, and then they have preferred qualification, which is also high level. And then they have security clearance too. There's a lot of areas that if you're a beginner, I see that this is going to be a waste of time for you. So unless, like I said, they have some other information that led you to think that maybe you get a chance, then try that. But other than that, don't waste too much time on something that is very, very high level. I mean, even if they were looking for somebody entry level, that's their mistake by doing something crazy like this, where they put 10 years of experience with five different certifications with the high level security clearance. No, I mean, it's not going to work for a person who is a brand new coming to transition. You're just wasting your time. So our energy is way more important than this job, and just don't even apply that. Now, ending with this all job description details, just know this one tip, that nobody is gonna be able to teach you 100% description for each and every job. That is impossible, not possible. So you need to cover your courses, and that's gonna be 50, 60 to 70% worth of your information. And the rest, when you get a call back, then maybe do a quick research on the company or the site, and just quickly pick one or two or three things, go to YouTube and fix those things, and just kind of say, I did a lab or I went through these things. I know, and I'm gonna learn it more. But my education, I was focusing on my education first, and I did a lot of network routing and switching to make sure my core services, my core skills are great, and then I can learn these on the job. And that is perfectly acceptable answer to a lot of people. So don't go crazy on this stuff, and make sure that you do apply to a lot of these positions for you to get a chance. Now we are going to move into how do you prepare yourself for systems administrator or network administrator positions, because this is so complex. There's so many things going on. There's no way you can just sit and start learning about every single thing. That's like you're doing repeating the courses again all over. So the first tip that I tell people is that when you're doing courses or learning courses or doing labs, whatever you do, make sure to create a questions on top of that learning. So if you're learning about VPN, then ask yourself, who can ask me 5 questions related to VPN? And that is something you should write it down and store your answer. And then if you finish the course, imagine if you finish like 50, 60 lectures, you probably would have covered almost 300 plus interview questions just by doing learning method. Then there's another method, because you did all this learning, you did that. Then you do go to ChatGPT and have ChatGPT test you. Let me show you how to do that. So create a free account on ChatGPT. It's available for free. Just go to Google, type ChatGPT, and create an account. It should be chat.openai.com. Okay. Now, After this, go back to your resume that we have open here and just copy the text part of it. Don't copy the name, email, stuff like that. Just copy the text, like the middle part where you have all the technology, professional experience, and everything. And just copy that. And then once you copy that, go back to ChatGPT and then create scenario like this. Create a interview questions based on this resume, because this is something they can do exactly. People are using ChatGPT, so you may be doing the same thing. Create an interview questions. Probably have to fix the grammar. Create an interview question based on this resume, and give me 3 questions per section. So copy, paste. I'm going to put all that text, and then there you go. So now if you scroll down, then here you go. It says question, core strengths. So basically, on top of that core strength, if they're looking at your resume, they may come across this stuff because look, they have this resume right in their hands and they may just use that. So here they may say question number one, network and systems administration. Can you provide a specific example from your experience at Job Skillshare where your network and systems administration skills were crucial in resolving a challenging issue? So because you are putting job skills share, this is a common thing for someone to ask you. So how are you going to answer this? You have to talk about your lab experience. We have this access. We get in. We have to configure projects. Then we have to finish all these tasks and everything. So all these answers has to come from that, and that is where you are giving them the answer. The ice is breaking right there. That's the kind of scenario you're creating right now, and they're actually asking questions just like this. So then you can develop an answer from ChatGPT. You can type here, give me an example for this question. I need an answer where I am using practice labs for learning. And then you can quote and close the quote and send this to ChatGPT. And then here you can see right here, look, during my time at JobSkillshare, I was tasked with comprehensive project that involves setting up a simulated network. You can actually change simulated to real network because they don't know it's real. And I also used a simulations packet tracer. The challenges was to configure secure and efficient communication system between multiple virtual machines running Windows Server 2019, Linux operating system, and Cisco devices, routers, and switches. You can really, of course, you have to, from your learning, you got to fix this. ChatGPT is not going to know everything. Early in this project, I encountered the persistent connectivity issues, and you can talk about the scenario that maybe you got some issue with the practice lab and you just create something, right? And then I began by examining, and you just create this story in your lab environment because that's the goal that what I'm trying to tell you is that that lab is like a real job. Real job, we do the same thing. We configure things, we follow the tasks, we follow documentation, and in 90% of the time we just get stuck somewhere and then we have to fix it, we have to find solution. Or in other places a system is not working because of some issue. So you can create a lot of projects, a lot of ways to talk about what you have done in the practice lab to use it. You cannot just say I did a course, I went through the videos, and then I did XYZ and I'm done. No, you got to use it as a project. You got to tell them that I done all of these tasks, I use these different type of devices, then I went through scenarios, I found issues, I troubleshooted it on the server level, on the DHCP level, on the Cisco router level. I did all of these different type of tasks, and this is where you're going to be able to answer all of these questions. So go ahead and take some time through your resume, create a lot of these scenarios for yourself, because they have the resume in their hand and you have to defend it the best way possible. So this is a perfect tool for you to go back and forth, fix things, and get that proper answers out for this resume. It's going to be your job. Of course, you need to work on this to create your own answers, and then you need to be confident. Then take the concept, the answers, take it out, print it, and then start practicing it. And then maybe family members, friends, or somebody say, hey, can you ask me questions from this sheet? I'm just going to give you this sheet and then I'm going to give you the answer. Make sure your flow is clear, your talking is clear, your pronunciation is clear, everything is clear, and then you should be good to go. Try all of this and trust me, come back to this video, tell me how everything is working. And I wish you all the best. I hope this really helped you. Thank you.